this thing on? Today's episode is brought to you by Boho Knits, unique designs for obsessive knitters. Cake tin hats, whimsical wet felted hats, handcrafted in Prince Edward County. And the Sock Diva, luxurious hand-cranked socks made from sumptuous uncle yarn.
In the sea for me, bound with string inside a bottle of green. And if it cracks ends to the bottom, it sinks. Well, then maybe it wasn't meant for me.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of LittleChurch Knits, the podcast. Welcome to you if you've not seen the podcast before. That's one whole episode. And welcome back if you have. And thank you for coming back and being patient with episode number 1 because, well, it was episode number 1. You know how that is. Anyway, welcome back. It is a beautiful day, although a little bit overcast, so clouds keep sort of passing over, which is kind of romantic, but not very good for steady lighting. Oh well, we'll just live with it. Since last week, what have I been up to? Oh my goodness, sewing. Lots of sewing has been going on. I think I showed you a picture of the sock bags last time, so I'm not going to go there again, but I can tell you that I really wanted to get everything online and ready for sale last Friday, but I don't know about you, but I sometimes set unrealistic goals for myself, and that was one of them, and it was really making me crazy. And it was making me angry and grouchy and otherwise not a very nice person. So I thought, you know what? It takes as long as it takes. It takes as long as it takes. And pretty soon, there will be bags to buy at LittleChurch, the shop, both on the blog and on Etsy. So I'll be sure and let you know when that happens. I and Elizabeth on the weekend, we went to Chetwynd Farms, which is one of our local alpaca farms. They produce products under the brand name of Shed, and they have a beautifully curated shop in an actual shed, and some really adorable alpaca out in Hillier, Ontario, which is on the island of Prince Edward County, and it's a lovely drive, sort of. We went around and around in circles about 4 times before we found the place. I was trying to blame the GPS, but I think it was probably my fault. Well, we got to talking and we forgot a kind of crucial turn. So we wound up out in the countryside going around and around and around in circles. But we had a good time and we laughed a lot about it and we had a lovely time. We got there fairly early and got to look at their sweetly newly sheared alpaca. They are so adorable when they're newly sheared because they have long kind of serpentine necks and big fuzzy heads, and they're just adorable. I wanted to get in the pen and hug them all. They were really sweet. And they had some beautiful yarns. I'm going to try and put some pictures into the video this time. We'll see how that goes. Forgive me if I can't put them in the body of the video, I'll put them in the notes so that you can see some of the beautiful products that they have for sale there. They have yarns. And from what Ted was saying, they're going to be adding more yarns in varied plies and varied spins. They didn't anticipate that there would be so many eager knitters in Prince Edward County, which is really kind of cool to hear. So I'll link to that and you can see some of their pretty yarns too. But they also have a line of really beautifully designed ready to wear things. They have some gorgeous shawls and some pre-knitted things and a couple of patterns. I think our Kelly McClure from Boho Knits, I think she designed something for them. I think it's the baby jacket. I'll make sure that I link to that in the notes as well. But yeah, they have some beautiful stuff, and the shop is just so gorgeously curated. It really was lovely to just be in the environment of Shed. Elizabeth bought some fleece and was drop spindling some beautiful alpaca fleece in lovely natural undyed shades. So she was happy. I kept her quiet for a few minutes. And yeah, so we had a lovely time at Shed over the weekend. If you're in the county ever, you really should check out Shed. It's worth the drive to Hillier, and it's a really pretty spot that they have there, and some really lovely animals. So that was fun. I also wrote this week, I wrote a post for the Knit Traders blog. Knit Traders is a lovely little shop in Kingston, which is not too far from here. I'm going to be teaching a class for them in June. It's my Toes Up 2 at a time sock class. That's scheduled for June 11th. I think it's going to be really fun. They have some beautiful yarns and beautiful Scandinavian yarns, which there aren't a lot of nearby. Wool Time carries some, and Wool Traders carries some. So we're going to be using the Sadness Gone Perfect, which is a heavy DK to a light worsted weight yarn. It has a little nylon component, making it perfect for heavier weight socks. And they're very quick to knit. So anyway, that's what we're going to be doing in Toes Up. But they asked me if I would write an occasional post for their blog, and of course I agreed. And I thought it would be fun to do a style post, one of those polyvore, where you get the images from polyvore and make a beautiful collages of different outfits. Sounds like somebody has chosen to mow their lawn this morning. Isn't that nice? Please forgive. Anyway, I wrote my first style post. I chose a sweater by Hoki Locatelli called Neon. Once again, I'm going to try and pop the photo in here. If I can't, please forgive me and look to the show notes. It really is a lovely sweater. I fell in love with it because I thought this could be styled in so many different ways with some really, really lovely looks. It's done in tulle stitch or netting stitch, which I used for the border of my Big Island wrapper shawl that was on Free Pattern Friday last week. It's a lovely versatile stitch, and it has the added beauty of being a little bit more stable than its more commonly used, like knit two together yarn over for making an open work or a sort of a netted looking stitch. This one passes a stitch over to slipped stitches, so it gives it a little bit more stability. It's not quite as stretchy, and it's not quite as open. So that I liked about the sweater. I also liked the wide variety of yarn that could be used for it, and I from the inventory at Knit Traders, I thought the King Cole Bamboo Cotton would be absolutely beautiful, and it comes in the most lovely shades. So yes, there's some, and then I put together some fun looks with black and white stripes and dots, which, as you can tell, are kind of a favorite of mine. Just from looking around the house, I have black and white stripes and dots everywhere. So yeah, so look for that. I think it was due to be posted on Monday, but Monday was a holiday here in Prince Edward County, so it may not be there yet. She may have needed a few more days to complete that. So I did that, and I've been knitting, so I have a little bit of progress. My main work in progress has been the Diamonds for Lisa shawl that I'm going to be releasing on Free Pattern Friday this week coming up. And I really have enjoyed this. I've loved the yarn. I've loved the project. I've loved the sort of zen-ness of it. I love the shaping strategy. I don't want to give away too much before Friday, so I will hold off on telling you too much about the details. But I will show you that I am far from being done, but oh my gosh, what a painful experience, can I tell you? I played Yarn Chicken and lost. Yeah, I did. Yarn Chicken and lost. Here's the edging, and it's a bind off edging that goes all the way around, and I luckily I took careful records, weighed my yarn before I began the complicated, or not complicated, but fancy lace bind off. And then when I got sort of close to the halfway point, I weighed the remainder of my yarn and found no way is it going to happen. I cried, and Carl patted me on the back and said, "Oh, honey, it will all be all right." And he was right as usual. So I in a moment of madness, I emailed the girls at Red Sock Blue Sock to see if I couldn't get another skein of this, although I really was hoping in my heart to keep this to a one skein project. I thought, oh golly, I just really don't want to rip out my border. I was really very happy with it and the way it went on. So I tried to get in touch with them and couldn't, and in fact I still haven't been able to get in touch with them. So I wound up ripping it back. I ripped back all of the border and the last increase so that I would be sure that I would have enough yarn. And I'm very, very happy with it. I have enough yarn to complete it now, and I'm really looking forward to blocking it to see what happens to this edging. I obviously have swatched it, and the swatch was lovely, but I'm really excited to see how this works out actually on the shawl. So that is literally an hour and a half of knitting from being done. So look for that on Free Pattern Friday. It's called Diamonds for Lisa. It's a little bit of an ode to my friend Lisa, whose family is from Fort McMurray, Alberta. She grew up in Fort McMurray, Alberta, and she, as you know or may know, Fort McMurray had some terrible wildfires lately, and everyone was driven from their homes. It was a dreadful situation, a real disaster. So anyway, I was thinking a lot about Lisa and a lot about our time together and a lot about her family, and so I decided to name this project for her. Watch for Free Pattern Friday. Yay, gonna be really fun. So that was the big drama. Oh yeah, and I should add also that, like I said, this is the this was the BFL silk blend from Red Sock Blue Sock. I love it. It's lovely. It has a high level of sheen. I think it has an awful lot of silk in it. I have kept every ball band from every skein of yarn I've ever owned. That's probably exaggerating, but I bet I have enough to wallpaper a small room. Do I have this ball band? Not on your life. No. I've looked everywhere for it. I can't find it. But as I said, it was the BFL silk blend from Red Sock Blue Sock. Just now got a message from them saying that it's discontinued. There was no notice of this on their website or anything like that, so it was a mystery to me until just now. So anyway, I have, I asked Elizabeth, I asked other people what they thought, if there was another BFL silk blend that was, that might be appropriate, and I decided to go with Zen Yarn Garden. They have a beautiful product called Serenity Silk. It comes in some really luscious colors. It's a hand-dyed, mostly tonal, lovely, lovely yarn. They have it through, I think you can buy it through their website, but you can also get it through yarns, or webs, yarn.com. Anyway, despite the fact that I'm supposed to be on a Rhinebeck yarn diet, I bought some. So it's on its way to me, and I cannot wait to try it out. So the yarn that will be specified on the pattern on Friday is going to be Zen Yarn Garden Serenity Silk. And I just can't wait to get that in my hot little hands and give it a try. So that's Diamonds for Lisa. Don't forget to stop in on Friday and pick up your free pattern. So, even though I had only 4 repeats to go on that project, I have been dying to get started on my tank top project for a long time, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to take the time now and sit down, do the math, finish all the sketches, and get everything done in order to start my tank top project. So I did that yesterday, and I was actually able to cast on the project, which makes me really happy because I've been longing to cast it on. I'm going to be using a new favorite yarn of mine. I didn't even realize how wonderful this yarn was until recently, until I ordered a bunch It just comes in so many beautiful colors. It's such a gorgeous blend. And it is Knit Picks Cotton. It's a blend of, I'm reading, 30% Tanguy cotton and 30% linen, and I love it. I really, really do. It's a really, really beautiful blend. It has a lot of drape. It's gorgeous in the hand. It has actually a surprising amount of loft, which is a nice quality. And it's not too tightly spun, so you don't get that overly round texture, which is lovely for things like bags and items where you need a little more stability, but not really very nice for garments. So this, I'm finding, is lovely. This color is called Raindrop, and I absolutely love it. It's a soft gray blue that goes perfectly well with denim. It's a kind of a denim-y blue. And I went ahead and cast on my Orinoco tank. I've designed this tank to fit along the lines of a kind of favorite dress of mine, which I made when I first got my serger as an experiment. I bought the yarn to try to, or the fabric, to try to just experiment a little bit with the way my serger would hem and trim and handle knit fabric. So I bought this sort of lemongrass green colored blend of cotton and linen with a little bit of spandex, and I made a dress. And it was a happy accident, but it turned out great. And now every time I wear the dress, everyone's like, oh, what a great dress. You know, where did you get it? It looks so good on you. And I thought, you know what? That dress will be perfect to model my tank top on, because it does fit beautifully well through the torso and waist and even the top of my hips. So I laid it out, took some measurements from it, and that's what I've based my tank top fit on, is the favorite green dress. I have a little swatch here, sort of see where it's going. Yes. What do you think? Isn't that pretty? I love this pattern. I love how it looks when it meets the stockinette too. Really enjoying that. And I like how the yarn looks when it's worked up in garter stitch. So I'm really excited about this. I sat down, I got as far as I could on the, or as far as I wanted to, on the shawl, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cast on. So I turned on Inspector Morse and I cast it on, and I got about 2 rows into it before I became sleepy. And at that point, I just had to go with it and hope that I could sleep during that sleepy window. So hopefully next week I'll have a whole lot more to show you on the upcoming Orinoco tank. While we're on the subject of Kotlin, I want to give you a sneak peek of another Kotlin project I have going. I'm very excited about this. I was really kind of hoping that I would be able to release this pattern over the Canada Day / 4th of July weekend, but you know, in keeping with my determination not to set unrealistic goals for myself, I might not be able to hit that one. But I think it would just be a lovely long weekend. I'm not sure you could get it done in a long weekend, but a long weekend would be a perfect time to start it, especially a holiday weekend. It is a picnic blanket I've been working on, also in the Kotlin. And here's the square. I wish that I could drop what I'm doing and just work on this. I'm having such a lovely time with this. I based the color choices on, and it's a funny story, but a couple of years ago at the dollar store of all places, I found these really cute I love every color.
Leave a letter in the sea for
They were,
me,
sometimes at the dollar store they buy things
bound with string inside a bottle of green.
Good quality things that just somehow haven't.
And if it cracks ends to the bottom, it sinks. Well, then maybe it wasn't meant for me.
And I just love them so much. I bought all they had. I think I bought like 20 packages of them. because they go perfectly with my house. They go with everything in my house. And I'm on my last package. It's really kind of sad. And so I thought, I really need to immortalize this little napkin that I love so much. And so I drew, thankfully Cotton comes in like a million wonderful shades, but I drew all the shades for the picnic blanket from this napkin. I'm a couple of squares in. I did manage to get this kind of honey green color. This one I think is called Surf. I wish I could show you how they all kind of hang together, and maybe I'll put a picture in the show notes for how they hang together and actually match the napkin. There's two. And then I started this one in a real sort of navy blue color. And I also have my favorite sagebrush and a little bit of red. And then I was going to add a little bit of the raindrop, because that's kind of in the napkin too. And then I thought, well, to make a big enough blanket, I think I probably need to go and order, there's like a bright pink in here, and in the Cotton yarn, it's called Peony. So I think I'll go grab a skein. I'll order up a skein of the Peony also to add to that. So that's something I've been working on and really, really enjoying. So without telling too much about it, I'm really going to try and get this organized and out the door for the long weekend, the Canada Day / 4th of July weekend, which I will be spending with Miss Laura in the forest. So kind of really looking forward to spending a whole lot of weekends in upstate this summer. I love Fairhaven and the Finger Lakes so much. I love the fact that it's old-fashioned. It really hasn't changed much. There's ice cream stands everywhere. There's those like cottage motels everywhere. I love it. And of course, I love the fair itself. It's a Renaissance fair, and I never really figured myself a Renaissance fair kind of person, but gosh, it's fun, and it's such a nice girl gang up there, and I really love it. So I'm looking forward to spending quite a few weekends there doing that. And I might even give myself a bit of a yarn crawl into the bargain and try and hit some of the yarn shops in the region, in Syracuse, that region of New York State, this summer too. Even though really I need to be on a diet for Rhinebeck, but I'll do my very best. I do want to check them out. There's one called Sheep Thrills that I really want to check out. How could you name a yarn store Sheep Thrills and not want to go there? It's just a cool name. So I'm going to try that. So that is pretty much what I've been working on. Free Pattern Friday takes up a lot of my knitting hours. I do have some help. I want to thank Christine Ferguson for helping me out with a few projects, and I'm kind of saving those up to be published on Free Pattern Friday when I'm away visiting Laura in the forest. So you should look forward to some of the lovely things that she has knit from my designs. I think you're going to really like them. What else is coming up? Yes, look for the bags. They're going to be online soon, hopefully by the end of the week, but I can't promise anything. I wish I could. I wish I could sew faster. I wish I didn't love knitting so much that I could sit down and actually get some sewing done. So hopefully by the end of the week, beginning of next, all those bags and needle cases will be available for purchase. The new newsletter is coming out. I'm kind of excited about that. Something happened, like since I started Free Pattern Friday and I have been getting a lot of visitors to the site, a lot of people are signing up for the newsletter, which is awesome. But I sometimes wonder if what you really wanted to do was subscribe to the blog. So I'm going to pop that into the newsletter too and just say, being part of the newsletter is amazing. But if you want to be part of the almost daily missives that come from the blog, sign up here. So I'll put that in the newsletter. So the new newsletter is coming up. Oh, and I have to put my flowers in this week. You probably have yours done already. I'm not a gardener. I swear. My mother could grow, and Laura's the same way. She can grow things like magic. Elizabeth's a great gardener too. Almost everyone I know is a great gardener. And the lady next door, it's like the Versailles over there. I'm so embarrassed. It's like, here's my little church with its little like 2 flowers in the front. Because I'm a city girl and I've always gardened in the city, I'm fine with gardening in containers. Like I can do that with annuals. I can put annuals in a container and be fine with that and water them and keep them alive and everything. But the gardening in the big dirt, yeah, that's a problem for me. There could be bugs in there, you know? There could be bugs in there. It's hard work. It's just not something I enjoy. And it's not something I'm good at because I don't enjoy it. But anyway, I have to do that. I allow myself 4 containers per year, 2 in the front and 2 in the back. So I'm going to do those. I've got to get out this afternoon and go to the nursery. If you read my blog, you know that I'm a little partial to Lockyers here in the county. They're really very, very special, and they're very nice people. So I'm going to head out there this afternoon. And then upcoming, I have a couple more summer talks in the works that hopefully I'll be prepared to talk about, whether it's a start or whether it's just sketches and ideas, but I should be prepared to talk about those this next week coming up. In the meantime, I hope we'll see you on Free Pattern Friday. I hope we'll see you over on the blog. And I thank you for coming back and spending some time with me again this week. And I hope you'll come back again next week to see what we're up to. So thank you and see you soon. Be well and happy knitting. Bye-bye.